Hello, and welcome back to REV 55. Once again, my name's Mike Walsh. Today on the show, I have with me David Goad and Brian Daniel of the band Kali Ra. Also today, we're going to be doing two reviews like normal. We're going to be reviewing Rainbows Are Free, the LP vinyl, and also the Dual 604 Turntable. So guys, how you doing today?
Just fantastic.
Outstanding. What were we doing all day?
Shooting a video.
Yeah, what video?
Color.
Coming soon, by the way. So, tell me a little bit about Kali Ra. Where did it come from? How did it start?
Once upon a time, I was in this band called Of the Tower. And we had almost gotten to the point of dropping a record. And then we called it quits. And I took liberties to take some of my songs and freedom to write whatever I wanted. And I decided I was going to do this sort of electro, rock, industrial, pop hybrid thing called Kali Ra.
So I remember when you first mentioned it to me, it was more going to started out kind of as like a solo thing, and you slowly turned it into something more than that, right?
Yes. I wanted to do, I wouldn't say like a bloated or grandiose, but definitely a full band, backing tracks, the visual spectacle, the whole package. Everything that I loved about rock bands. That's what I wanted. The best of that sort of world.
Speaking of that, what kind of influences do you have?
David Bowie, Bauhaus, Depeche Mode, The Cure, Blonde Redhead, stuff like that.
So we can safely say you're kind of a, I hate to use the word goth, but maybe a little bit of the early post-punk, but very dark kind of stuff?
Yes, very, very influenced by that stuff.
All right, very good. So who all else is in the band with you?
Well, so we've got myself, Brian Daniel, we've got Joel Price on guitar, we've got Nick Morgan on drums, and Mark on keyboards.
Excellent. Well, Brian, how did you get into the Kali Ra thing?
Through a friend, more or less. Said, yeah, I do know some guys that might be looking for a bass player, and this is the sort of stuff they're in, and it's exactly the style of music that I've been looking for. For years, I've been looking for people in this city that are into the same kind of stuff, so finally it happened.
Awesome. Well, I'm glad you guys are here with me. Let's go ahead and move on. I'm going to start by reviewing a great turntable made in Germany called the Dual 604. That's what we're going to hit first, so stick around. The Dual 604 electronic direct drive turntable. This is a cool classic table, and I'm lucky to have it. This specific one was donated to me by my good friend Austin Barham of the local OKC acts Spooky Fruit and the Venditos. It truly is one of my favorite pieces. The Dual 604 is direct drive, and for those of you who don't like direct drives, have no fear. Dual was specializing in the technology at the time, so for a vintage table, this is one of the best non-Technics direct drives out there. It was made in Germany from 1977 to 1978. It has anti-skating control, a strobe light for timing, and is semi-automatic. In other words, the tone arm will retract automatically at the end of the vinyl, but everything else about it is manual. It also has pitch control and 2 speeds, 33 and 45. I really like the look of this table. The dust cover has that nice classic smoked look, the tone arm looks like a work of art, and the simulated wooden plinth just adds all kinds of class. Speaking of the plinth, one of the coolest mods I've seen for this table is a full wooden plinth that makes it look closer to the Pioneer PL12D, a table that the Dual is often compared to and one that I will review at a later time. Outside of the plinth, I like this table better than my Pioneer. Unfortunately, when I was moving it, something happened to the tone arm and it'll no longer play through an entire album without losing tracking. Hopefully it's an easy fix, but once again, if you can find one of these, I highly recommend it for a cool introductory or mid-range turntable. The Dual 604. Alright, well, now it's time for my favorite part of the show where we get to actually listen to some tunes. Do you guys collect the records?
We collect the records.
Do you have Rainbows Are Free?
We don't own Rainbows Are Free.
Well, that's a dang shame. Well, stick around. I'm going to tell you all about it.
Well, I'm going to have real fun with this one. I mean, I could talk for hours about how much and why I absolutely adore, love, and worship this record. Is it because its cover is frickin' unbelievable? Yes. Is it because it has a killer purple translucent vinyl? Sure. Is it because that the production team of Bell Labs and Tree Lady Studios always put together a fine production? Yes. Is it because these boys are local and hail from Norman, Oklahoma? Of course. Is it because this record is one of the best straight rock and roll albums I've heard in quite some time, and now it's one of my favorite records in my collection? Yes, and hell yes. Recorded in 2009 and the limited vinyl release late last year, Rainbows Are Free, Believers in Medicines simply rocks. This record makes no bones about it. You drop the needle and you remember why you fell in love with rock and roll in the first place. It's aggressive, it's loud, it pisses off anyone who doesn't get it, and you cannot help but bang your head. Upon a cursory listen, the record falls comfortably among some of the best stoner rock classics of the last 20 years. It touches on everything from Caius to Clutch to Queens of the Stone Age. But listen again, and its influence is broadened. It pays homage to the greats, from the hard bluesy edge of Zeppelin to the heaviness of Sabbath to the menace of Judas Priest. But again, listen again, and the record is all its own. The unique vocal stylings never bore and are unlike anything you've ever heard. The rhythm section never, and I mean never, skips a beat, and the guitar work is so infectious that when I'm alone in the garage, I can't help myself. I have to air guitar along with it. In my opinion, the highlights of the albums are You Dead and the title track, which, by the way, is a journey in and of itself. But the whole album never lets up, and you will be glad you listened. These guys are a local act, and to me that means that maybe someday they would come on this show, if for no other reason than to allow me to shake their hands and thank them for writing red-blooded rock and roll the way it was meant to be. God bless you guys. I cannot wait for more.
Okay, like we did last time, we're going to have a quick performance here for you. What song are you going to be playing for us?
Photograph.
Photograph? Is that going to be on the Kali Ra album whenever it comes out?
Yes, Electric Living.
Electric Living.
Full-length LP.
You got any shows coming up?
Yes, I do. February 2nd, I'm going to be at Art Momentum at 50 Penn Place. And March 9th, I'm going to be playing at the High Low.
All right. David, go to Kali Ra. Take it away, man.